If you want to have a vaginal birth, having a head-down baby at the end of your pregnancy is best. Breech babies are becoming increasingly common in this day and age because many of us are leading more sedentary lifestyles at work and at home. If your baby is breech at the end of your third trimester, meaning that they're head up but bottom or feet first in your womb, this can make a vaginal birth less likely and more complicated, and in many countries your care team will suggest a C-section to you. So with that in mind, I've created this video all about how to avoid a breech baby. This video is particularly important for you if you're in your third trimester or coming to the end of your second trimester. I'm going to be sharing my top tips to avoid a breech baby so that your baby can get head down, optimally aligned in your pelvis and ready for birth. One of the most important things that you need to be aware of during pregnancy is how many hours you spend sitting down each day. If you spend much of your working day sitting at a desk, it's more likely that your baby will be in a breech position. Often when we sit down to work, we're sitting in front of a computer. Our posture isn't great, we can be a bit hunched, and this can restrict space in our abdominal area. This in turn can restrict space in the womb and make it harder for babies to turn head down. Another issue with sitting down a lot is we can often be positioned with our hips lower than the level of our knees. This tilts the pelvis backwards and increases the chances of a breech baby, and this is largely due to how the pelvis and the womb are shaped. Breech babies can feel more comfortable when their mothers are sitting in certain positions, so they'll happily fix themselves into a head-up position and not want to turn head down. So in your third trimester, you have to be mindful of how long you're sitting down for and in what position you're sitting down in. If you want your baby to turn head down, you've got to make sure that your hips are above the level of your knees when seated. To make this easier, you can sit on a pillow or a wedge pillow which will get your hips higher than your knees. Alternatively, if you can work like this, you could straddle a firm chair which when sat on back to front will automatically position your hips higher than the level of your knees. Some pregnant women will even sit on a birth ball at work rather than a chair. If you buy the right size birth ball for your height, your knees will automatically be lower than the level of your hips. I'll post some information about birth ball sizes below so you can have a look after watching this video. Another thing that you need to be mindful of is how long you spend sitting down in one go. Ideally, every hour you should be getting up and walking around for a little while and then sitting back down. Also, when seated, make sure that your legs are uncrossed and that your feet are flat on the floor. The same thing goes for home. In the evenings, it's so easy for us to slouch back on our comfy sofas and watch TV. But you need to be mindful in pregnancy of whether your bottom and hips are sinking into your soft sofa cushion with your knees higher up. If this is the case, your hips are down here and your knees are higher up, you need to resolve this by sitting on top of a pile of pillows to tilt your pelvis forwards so that your hips and bottom are higher than the level of your knees. Now I know the idea of sitting on top of a pile of pillows on your sofa doesn't sound particularly relaxing, but give it a try and see how you feel. If you don't like it, you could straddle a chair to watch TV, or get into a side lying position on your sofa, so then at least you're lying down, you can relax a little bit more and unwind if you've had a busy day, but make sure that you put a pillow between your knees so that you don't get hip ache. Another tip to avoid a breech baby is to minimise stress. And a lot has been written about the connection between stressed pregnant women and breech babies. The scientific theory is that stress can cause tightening and tension in the lower part of the womb, so your baby's head will not want to be down there where it feels more tight and restricted. Therefore, they'll remain in a head-up position where they feel more calm and relaxed. An additional theory is that when you feel stressed, you release the hormones adrenaline and cortisol, and those hormones are ordinarily released when you feel unsafe or at risk. Now, if you're releasing those hormones in your third trimester of pregnancy, it's basically triggering the fight or flight response in your body, and it can create a sensation or a feeling of unease within your mind and your body. Your baby will also be receiving adrenaline and cortisol from you via the placenta, and it's going to create a feeling of uneasiness within them as well. So with the adrenaline and cortisol flowing around your body when you're stressed, it basically tells your mind and your body, as well as your baby, that it's absolutely unsafe for you to go into labour at any point soon until you feel calm and relaxed. And as a consequence of that, your baby can remain in a head-up position where they feel more safe and cocooned within your womb, and they won't want to turn head down ready for birth because of the cocktail of hormones that are caused by this stress. Now, we can all manage stress differently, but some of the easiest ways to manage stress during pregnancy include daily meditation practice, treating yourself to a pregnancy massage every now and then, and getting outdoors in the fresh air for a walk every single day. Meditating in pregnancy has countless benefits. Some of the main benefits include relaxation of the mind and body, which can help to reduce adrenaline and cortisol production and trigger the release of relaxation hormones, which loosen muscles and help to reduce tension. This in turn reduces muscular tension in the abdomen, womb and pelvis, making it more likely that your baby will have space to turn head down. Beneath this video, I'll let you know which pregnancy meditations you can listen to that will help you to feel calm and relaxed during your pregnancy. Treating yourself to a pregnancy massage is also a great way of reducing stress. I treated myself to 3 pregnancy massages in my 3rd trimester, and I definitely think that they helped my baby to turn from head up to head down at 35 weeks. And of course, getting outdoors for a daily walk is good. Walking each day can reduce stress and help to open up the hips and pelvis, loosening any tension or tightness. When you go for a walk, because of the movement of your hips, you're creating more space in your pelvis for your baby to turn head down. And actually, at the end of the 3rd trimester, babies automatically want to be guided head down by gravity. And when you go for a walk, you're working with gravity to guide your baby's head down into the lower part of the womb, ready for birth. So try to go for a 30-minute walk each day, unless you've been given a medical reason not to. Another way of avoiding a breech baby is to wear loose clothing. Tight clothing over your baby bump can be restrictive, so it's important to wear comfortable, elasticated clothes that stretch easily over your baby bump, or floaty dresses that don't put any pressure on your belly at all. My next tip is to stay hydrated to maintain optimal amniotic fluid levels. Low amniotic fluid levels can negatively impact your baby's movements and positioning. To ensure there's enough amniotic fluid around your baby and that you're not getting dehydrated during your pregnancy, experts recommend that a pregnant woman should drink 8 to 12 cups of fluid a day. This equates to 2 to 3 litres of fluid each day. Now, I personally wasn't drinking 3 litres of fluid each day, but I was eating quite a lot of juicy fruits that had a high water content anyway. But I do think that I was drinking 1.5 to 2 litres of fluid each day, and that was a mixture of water, fruit juice and herbal tea. If you're well hydrated and your baby has enough amniotic fluid around them, it's going to be easier for them to turn head down. And if you like to swim, you'll know that moving about in water feels so much easier and comfortable. Water creates buoyancy, meaning that we feel lighter and find it easier to move about, and the same applies to your baby in the womb. And my final tip is to practice deep breathing during pregnancy to create space and relaxation in your abdominal and pelvic area. Please find a comfortable place to sit with an upright posture. Place one hand on your upper chest, the other on your belly, and close your eyes. Allow your belly to relax without clenching your abdominal muscles. Breathe in slowly through your nose, feeling your tummy rise. Then exhale slowly through your lips. Take note of the hand on your chest, which should remain relatively still. As you exhale, you should feel your tummy fall. Although the speed of this can vary from woman to woman, try to elongate your exhale and ensure that you're breathing deep into your tummy when you inhale. Try to do this breathing practice for about 3 minutes as you listen to some calming music, and try to do this breathing exercise 3 times a day. So I used to do it once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening before I went to bed. So I hope this video has given you a better understanding of things that you can do to avoid a breech baby. And if you're entering the final months of your pregnancy, I hope that you'll practice these techniques so that your baby does turn head down. If you've got any questions at all about your baby's positioning or breech babies, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And if you and your partner want to feel calm, relaxed, confident and ready for your baby's birth, sign up to my online hypnobirthing course in the video description box below. Thanks so much for watching and see you again soon.